All right, we're live. I think we're up on Instagram and Substack. Should be live in a second. Share the show out if you would. Hit the like right away. Annoy the maggot in your life. There's too many clips today. There's just too much. Damn. I want to cover all of it. We might be here all night. Okay, give me a second. We're about to get started. Hit the like, everybody. Share the show. Heads up. YouTube it keeps tripping. It's tripping. Yo, is it tripping, yo? Why are you doing that? Why is it gotta be like that? YouTube. Better? Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. All right. What's going on, people? All right. It's very difficult when I'm dancing to this because I know the timing is off because there's a slight delay between my headphones and the thing, but I almost feel like it's better. Maybe if I just move slightly, if I give it the gopher dance from Caddyshack. That's what that is, by the way. Anytime you see somebody doing that, that's the gopher dance from Caddyshack they're doing. All right, well, all right, let me start the show. Okay, I got a lot of show. Okay, and welcome chat room, you beloved, wonderful. Where'd you go? Where's the chat room gone? What in the head? What in the slam doodle? You're all there. I can see you. What in the hunky? Hold on. Let's see. Let's try this, and maybe we. Let's see. Use custom fan size. Restart the thing. Shut down source. Refresh browser when scene becomes active. Click that and see what that does. Maybe I'll go back to. Just go back to me by myself. We'll give it a shot. There you are. Look at that. Oh, it started. See that? Ah, it's good. Almost. Hey, look at that. The chat is ready to display messages. Yes, it frigging is. Look at that. There we go. And it's bigger now. I changed the graphics. That's probably why it was starting to begin. But look at you folks. Look at you lovely people. Look at all this. Look at all this action. Let me tell you something. How is it that my chat room, which is beloved and amazing and incredible and superb and other fancy words for awesome, is so full of people and so busy and so full of other stuff, and I still have under 100,000 subscribers. I'm starting to believe that all of my competition online is just buying subscribers. There's no other reason for it. How is my engagement competitive? My chat room is huge and full of fabulously interesting human beings, and only the occasional maggot bot farm stray, I guess, maybe. And yes, and you're attractive. Let me tell you that right now. A sexier chat group I've never seen, from myriads of different environments, different shows and stuff. And that's not even counting. I wish I could get the Instagram folks and the other folks from like Substack in this chat room. Oh, Lord. That'd be fantastic. Someday, one day, we'll try. Hey, Substack, just do an embed or a breakout of the chat, perhaps, and then I can create a sub window. I'll make like a dual window thing and just kind of run you through there. Maybe that'd be a thing. I mean, it's 2025, for fuck's sake. Like, AI is going to be here running everything before you know it. Do you really want to be behind when AI decides it is time to destroy all who are not caught up? And then what happens to you? Then what happens? Right. Look, I'll hold it as bay as long as I am president, but after that, I don't know what to tell you. So, hi. I gotta say, is there a thing? We'll see. Is there a thing where the people around Trump are just decided they're trying to let you know? I saw Hassan got pulled aside by customs. By the way, fuck that dude. Secondly, what a wuss. Thirdly, I've been pulled aside by customs and grilled for going into goddamn Canada twice. Listen, if you get the global entry, the first time you use it, they're going to pull you aside. Especially if you're, as I would like to say, a roofing age. If you're not, if you're an ambulatory, a human being with the means and wherewithal to take flight lessons, you're gonna get pulled aside and ask questions, especially if you've interviewed a fucking Houthi that was like, my buddy kept a bunch of fucking Chinese people captive for a year. Isn't that awesome? You're gonna get a fucking, they're gonna ask you a couple of goddamn questions. I once was flying back from New York to Los Angeles while I was doing Queer as Folk. And I was like, I want to, because we were off season, but I had an apartment up there that I just kept year round because I didn't want to have to move in. Yes, because you have long hair. I didn't have long hair at this time. But I went through I was like, I'll fly through Toronto and pick up some of my shit because I kept my apartment all year round because I didn't want to move in and out every year. Until they canceled this, I'm like, I'm going to make a home for myself. I'm not going to be fucking trying to hunt down a new apartment every time I go up there. And it ended up being economically and personally and socially and psychologically a lot more cushiony and better for my mental health and my sex life. And so I kept that place. And on my way back from New York, I flew to Toronto and I was going, okay, so there's a shop in New York in Chinatown that I get martial arts supplies from. I've got most of my chucks from there. I got my 3-sectional staff, the really good one that I have. I got that there. I got 2 of my spear tips from there. I got a bunch of books and videos on obscure martial arts styles to study and that kind of thing. That, from that place. I visited. It's right down from this noodle place that I go when I'm there all the time. It's awesome. So I go to that place all the time, and I had 2 butterfly knives in my bag, in my checked bag, wrapped in a box, wrapped in plastic because they were literally still sealed in there. Well, I didn't know those things were illegal in Canada. Why would they be? It's like finding out nunchucks are illegal in your city, right? And you're like, even the foam ones? And they go, even the foam ones. And you're like, son of a bitch. So you're really busting me for the chain, right? That to connect, because I can unscrew the screw and pop in piece of wood and that's it. Okay. Lance tips too? Yes. Well, yes. The spears that I have, I'm a big long weapon fan as I am 5'9" and a $165 fully clothed, soaking wet. I'm a big fan of spears. as a weapon, both long spear and short spear. Oftentimes, great combo weapon. I'm just saying. Also, the mid-length spear and a knife. I'm just telling you. Okay, so I was flying back to LA, and I was like, I'll just change my flight, go through Toronto, pick up some of my shit from my apartment that I wanted to have, because it was like right at the beginning of the summer. And I'm like, I'm going to be home for a couple months, so I'll pick up some stuff and go there. And I got busted for bringing knives into Canada and into Toronto. Like, fuck me. So that went on my record. Like, they sat me aside, and I was in a room, and they asked me about what I was doing, and I was like, I really honestly don't know why. What's the issue? And they're like, well, these are illegal here. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Do I just leave them here? It's kind of like when you bring something that you're not supposed to bring on a plane, and you start to go through like like clippers or something back in the day when you're going through TSA, and they're like, you can't bring this on. You're like, okay, we'll throw it in the fucking bin and I'll buy another one. I thought it was that level. No, it became an international incident basically, and I got in deep shit. And it's on a little record. So when I fly into Toronto, there's like, by the way, this asshole was stopped once bringing knives into the country. I'm like, okay. If I was a chef, you guys wouldn't be giving me shit, but it's because I'm a comedian. Anyways, so every time I fly into Toronto, into Canada now, even years later, that shows up. So occasionally I will get pulled out of line just because they're like, this fucking guy, right? And they'll sit me down and they'll go, what are you bringing in? I'm like, where are you going? I'm going to do a stand-up show or a rock show or something like that. They are visiting friends. We're like, yeah? Do they involve knives? I'm like, oh, shit. No. You look through my bags. It's fine. That would happen once. That was a mistake. Sure it was, buddy. Look, we're Canadians, so we're only going to apologize for interrupting your travel 2 more times, and then you're in big trouble. And then we put you in a padded cell. You're going to send me in a loony bin? No, all of our jails are padded. We're that nice. It's like a bouncy house. Oh, all right, cool. So, needless to say, in a myriad of situations, I have been pulled over and my time has been taken up by a lot of interrogation over that one particular incident. So, my point is, fuck Hassan Piker and his uncle and their whiny bullshit. Sorry. If you interview Houthis and go, dude, that's fire, to a Houthi who is bragging about the fact that they've kidnapped some Chinese people, and you're like, bro, that's so one punch, fucking A. And you're gonna get pulled out of line. They're gonna ask you some fucking questions. So maybe shut the fuck up and understand what you're taking on. This is why, God damn it, I have so much to say to you guys, because it's on the days I don't do a morning show that I'm like, blah, 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 blah. You can tell. But I have decided, and I posted this on my Blue Sky a couple days ago, there's no such thing as a masked protester. Yes, I'm on Canada's Most Wanted by the ladies. No, I insist there's no such thing as a masked protester. You know why? Because I don't know who you are. And so if you can't put your face to what you believe, you're not actually protesting. I don't even know if you're really here for that reason. That's why, like, every time, and it applies across the board, all those fucking guys in the khakis that are, the Patriot Front, and all of the maggots are like, those guys are feds, because you can't see their face. Well, you're not protesting, asshole. If I don't know who you are, the point of protest is I, as an individual, stand in front of God and man and pronounce that what is going on is wrong, or this right that we are not doing must be done. Right? That's the fucking point. If you're going to wear a mask to a protest, stay the fuck home and stay on Twitter, asshole. I'm just saying, there's no such thing as a masked protester. The minute you put a mask on, you're no longer protesting. You're a fucking poser at best, and at worst, I'm going to assume that you're subversive. Anybody in public wearing a mask that isn't doing it for health reasons, I'm just assuming you're a pedophile and you're afraid of face scanners. That's what I'm going to assume from this point on. It's not as simple as that. Clara Zoom says, Clara, it's as simple as that. If you believe you're on the right side of things and you're coming out to actually protest and you're willing to be arrested for your protest, then put your fucking face to the fight. But if you're wearing a balaclava and you're doing all this shit, then what you mean, gremlins, bad buffering? Why would we be the bad bufferings? Looks okay on my end. Yeah, because I can see the signal that's going out. Yeah. And by the way, you can disagree with me on this point. You're allowed. But I will only take your disagreement seriously if I know who you are and I can see your face. If Rando Jackass 1295 says we don't like you and we don't like what you're saying or I disagree with you, I'm not taking that seriously. And this is also where I refuse to get offended or even insulted. And this is also where I refuse to get offended or even insulted online. Won't happen. Not going to happen. If somebody insults me online, unless I know them personally, it can't land because I don't know if you actually care. I don't know if you're just a fucking spoiler. It doesn't matter. What you say doesn't matter unless you put yourself to it. And maybe part of that is because I don't have a choice. Okay? I have lost jobs because of what I do here. No question. Because of this show, there are people that think I'm too political to hire as an actor. Okay? And you know what my response to that is? Good. When I did Queer as Folk, everybody was telling me, and they were right, by the way, that there are certain producers, directors and stuff that won't hire you because you played a gay character on a gay show. Okay? They're like, it's just a fact. You're going to lose work because of this. And I went, good. I don't want to work for bigots. I'm fine with that. And not only did I put my face next to that cause, but my entire nude body. Well, almost. I kept something back. But you understand? I don't get to do that. And even if I did, let's say, how fucked up would it be? Think about this for a second. You're an unknown entity. You're a random person out there who doesn't really do anything in the public eye or whatever, but you wear a mask to a fucking thing. Nobody's going to know you one way or another. They're not going to know that you work at fucking Pizza Hut across town or you're an insurance salesman the rest of the time. Nobody cares. But tell it to the mass ICE agents. Well, that gets to my point as well, 250K home. Part of the reason why they're doing that and why everybody's back and forth about that is because that's the fight that's ratcheting up. We should identify ourselves in this culture because we're a democracy. Stand by what you're doing. And masked police officers, unless they are busting a drug den or some shit like that, no. So the point is, my agents told me I wouldn't. There's certain work I would not get because I was on a gay show playing a gay character, and I was like, fine. But let's say there was a protest, something, one of the myriad that I have been. Imagine if I did all the AIDS walks I've done, but I wore a mask because I didn't want people at my work to know what I cared about. Think about that for a second. Where's the value in it? How do you know with my mask covered that I actually give a shit about this? And that I'm not just a paid walker in this, that somebody didn't just hire a bunch of people to fill out the crowd. Right? And that's what they assume, by the way, I'll have you know. Like all the people who are wearing masks in the Free Palestine movement, the across the board, the assumption is, and the language is, whether it's right or not, is that these people are hiding their identities because they're not actually believers in the cause. They wear masks to hide the fact that they are paid to fill out a crowd. We should be in a country where if you stand up for what you believe in, if you're not going to engage in any violence, you shouldn't have to wear a mask. And if you wear a mask in those situations, Occupy Wall Street wore a mask, yes, and they fucking failed. Did Wall Street change when that occurred? You know who changed Wall Street more than Occupy Wall Street? Elizabeth Warren and Barack Obama pushing through the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That's who. people you know and you could spot, right? I'm just telling you. If you wear ice wear masks, I know, and I'm against it. That was the point of one of our Democratic senators this week, talking about how you can buy ice wear on Etsy. So if people come in and they don't have badges and they're wearing fucking masks, how the fuck do you know who's putting you in that van? Right? And again, I have always lived my life in the public. Even before I was known, the goal was to be a known actor and a known comedian. And, you know, that's part and parcel to how you know you're doing this. So now we're anti-mask. Yes, we are. We are anti-mask. We're not masking. It's a very scary time. Right. Well, the idea is that if everybody, that during the scary times in the world, people were showing their faces. Go look at pictures from the 1960s and the civil rights movement. Arguably the most hard-fought and biggest move forward in rights in American history. No, they weren't wearing masks. And the ones that were the bombers, like the people who were actually engaged in violence. But the people who were walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge or any of those things, or you know, there was no one wearing fucking masks at the MLK speech in D.C. Because the point is, I am here and I believe in this. For better or worse. And if the system comes after me for this, I will stand anyways. Not, oh shit, if the heat's on, I'm going to skulk the fuck out of here. If you're going there to get arrested, don't fight getting arrested. Get arrested. If you're going to lock arms and sit in a fucking circle and they're going to take you away, it's not the cop that's sent in there to get you out of there for blocking the streets problem. That they got a job to do too. They're assigned to that. So treat them with dignity and respect and go about your business. You make the decision, follow it through. Stand for what you believe in, put your face out there. And if you're working in a place where they would fucking fire you and again, why are we the ones that seem to only, you know, give a shit about that on our side of the aisle? Honestly. You saw plenty of non-threatening mask individuals? No, you didn't. You didn't see a single non-threatening masked individual. You have no idea who that person is. They were non-threatening to you, maybe because you're not their type or their target. You don't know. Just because you make a decision that they are being they're not threatening because you don't feel threatened doesn't mean somebody else won't. And the reality is you don't know. You can't know. Most cops are not into accountability. Yes, they are. It's literally their job. Most cops. And the thing is, what's the answer then? If somebody else isn't into accountability, isn't into civilization as it should be done, you're going to challenge that with uncivil behavior on the assumption, therefore raising the heat of the circumstance unnecessarily, right? Thank you. Thanks, Texas. Non-threatening masked individual, white man said. Yeah, sorry. It's medical masks. Again, that's different. If somebody's not doing it for health reasons, show your face, stand by who you are. ICE agents are not a judge. Agreed. Yeah. Sorry, did I hear about the cop that was shooting at what? At a DoorDash that was lost? No. Did they not pull over or something like that? I'm going to guess that was the entire story. They just saw a DoorDash guy, he was lost, and they just opened fire on him. We'll just assume that's exactly what happened. There are no further details. It seems reasonable. So, the point I'm trying to make is it's not their test, it's your standard. It's not their test. It's your standard. Does that make sense? You live up to the standards and the ethics and the beliefs that you have, and you stand by them. You don't ditch them because the other side is, and again, you're like, what if it's violence? Then that's self-defense. It's a whole different thing, and you know we're not talking about that. So no. Yes, Proud Boys wear masks. That's exactly my point. And not only when the Proud Boys wear those masks, they put those fucking balaclavas on, or they put those gaiters up, those neck gaiters, and they pull them up like this. What happens? One is they're using that to intimidate and scare people. They also are covering from the fact that they intend to engage in violence, right? Okay. Secondly, their own people, once they get busted, go, those weren't our people. They weren't doing anything. Those were fucking feds. And even if they arrest some of them and pull their gaiters down and show their arrest picture, they go, that wasn't the person who did that. That other guy was dressed in a blue shirt like he worked at fucking Best Buy in slacks and he had a gaiter. That's not him. That's what happens. That's what it ratchets down to. That becomes the standard. And I think, quite frankly, we're lucky in a big way that we can be proud of the stuff we are fighting for. We can be proud of the stuff we're standing up for. Because I got to tell you, if you got a tiki torch and you're saying Jews will not replace us, or if you're shouting from the river to the sea with a bunch of people that have a like Hitler didn't go far enough sign, you're probably going to want to wear a mask. Because you're a part of what we would call in polite society a marginalized community. That society has decided that you should go fuck yourself en masse. Even if you have some sympathizers, the vast majority of us would like you to please fuck off. Show your face, live up to your standard, and you will find support. Mm-hmm. Now, on that note, where was I? I just like it. I'm just, you guys know me. I have a hard line about political violence. I do not believe in it, and I do not participate in it. Know how those people need to show their faces? They don't deserve anonymity. No, I get that. I'm being ironic. Okay, nope. I'm being ironic about that. I'm guessing those people should probably, if they want to keep their jobs, whatever they do for a fucking day job, should probably hide their faces if you're yelling that shit around. But what you and I are talking about, women's rights, trans rights, LGBT rights, minority rights, voting rights, if you're yelling that, you and I are talking about, women's rights, trans rights, LGBT rights, minority rights, voting rights, real issues extend. I can't think of a single one of those where I wouldn't want to show my face and stand by what I say. And if you don't, if you're in that same face, it's hard for me to believe you're actually there because you care and that you're not going to just start shit to get us all in trouble. Right? Oh, some buffering. What the hell?